What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and as things have settled down a little bit this week after it was leaked that the Supreme Court was at least likely to, or people are taking the draft as, to overturn Roe v. Wade, there's been a lot of emotional reaction to it. The reality is, I support the legislation being taken away from the federal government and put in at the state level. I want the people that I can affect the vote for more easily responsible for the things that affect my daily life, regardless of the issue. Whether it's not, legalization is now at the state issue or at the state level, gay marriage, state levels, stuff like that. I support all of these issues to be at the state level. And we've had a lot of nuclear takes. None more nuclear than this gaming journalist who's suffering some instant regret, probably got visited by some people in suits after essentially saying, questions whether you would end the life of one Supreme Court justice and another Supreme Court justice if given the chance. Just casually throwing it out there. And while it didn't go well for him, and perhaps he'll be looking for a new job. See, it seems like most of these game journalists, I've said this forever, and it's been a while since I've covered anything in video games. I guess I'm uninspired by a lot of the games that are out there right now. But, I think that isn't to say there isn't good ones, believe me. I mean, that's not what I mean. But, I get so sick of these video game journalists who so clearly and desperately want to be political pundits, so that they look and they try to put every little political angle into every little thing they do. It's how they live their life. And here, this gaming journalist, Simon Gwen, questions whether you would remove Justice Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito from the planet given the chance. According to Muckrake, Gwen is a technology and gaming editor for Campaign, which is based in the United Kingdom. So he doesn't even live in this country, yet he has a very strong opinion on what's going on in this country. Not always well accepted. I would imagine if I were making strong political statements about what was going on in the UK or India or Australia, things of that nature, people that live there wouldn't care for that either. His comments come right after a draft majority opinion written by Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito that declares Roe v. Wade would be overturned following the court's hearing of Planned Parenthood versus Casey. In the draft opinion, Alito writes, "We do not pretend to know how our political system or society will respond to today's decision overruling Roe versus Casey, and even if we could foresee what would happen, we would have no authority to let that knowledge influence our decision. We can only do our job, which is to interpret the law, apply longstanding principles of the stare decisis, and decide the case accordingly." Meanwhile, this game journalist is like one of those same people that are totally fine with these lunatics showing up at the houses of these Supreme Court justices, which is what's happening. Even Jen Psaki, is fine with it. I saw, let me see this. I would say they're showing up at the homes, and I think it was Jen Psaki was like, meh, that's okay. You see like this, liberal group calls for protests at conservative Supreme Court's justices' homes. Stupid autoplay video. Come on. And they are showing up there. Anyway, quote, "We therefore hold that the Constitution does not confer a right to abortion. Roe and Casey must be overruled, and the authority to regulate it must be returned to the people and their elected representatives." I don't know why anyone has a problem with this. If you're a huge pro-choice person, then make sure you vote for that person in your state. If you're a huge pro-life person, you vote for that person in your state. I don't understand, exactly why people are losing their minds about this. By the way, nothing's actually official either. He took to Twitter where he wrote, "Interesting real-life trolley problem in America. If you had the chance to end Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, the two oldest right-wing Supreme Court judges, should you do it while Biden can get his nominees to replace them confirmed?" I mean, some might say this is calling for some sort of direct action. In a follow-up, he wrote, it's interesting as an abstract question, but becomes a real conundrum if, say, you're terminally ill and you have little to lose yourself, but know that it could save many women's lives in the future. He's literally calling for it. I don't really understand. You could, a slight rewording of this could say, hey, if you've got nothing to lose, please go do my bidding. Of course, after getting massive backlash, which we're going to take a look at, Gwen has since deleted the 2 tweets explaining, I've removed my 2 recent tweets about the U.S. Supreme Court as a reflection that they're obviously pretty irresponsible, though I don't think they would be against Twitter's terms of service. FYI, I don't endorse removing anyone from this planet, but don't think there's anything wrong with thought experiments. He then added another tweet. Twitter is often not a good place for them, however. Gwen's comments are absolutely despicable. This is via boundingintocomics.com. There are no other ways to describe them. He's openly discussing this type of action of 2 individuals and trying to justify it by claiming it's a thought experiment. I would agree with that. These are the tweets of the depraved, dare I say, sociopath. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he was wrong, but decided to do it anyway. He only deleted the tweets after receiving massive backlash from people calling him out on his vile, wicked tweets. However, he also exposed sociopathy by hedging after deleting the tweets by noting Twitter isn't the right place to discuss ending people's lives, implying somewhere else besides Twitter is. And if you look at his Twitter account now, you look at, here's, a lot of people, why did you delete these tweets? Tagging FBI. Interesting. Simon Gwynn can advocate for going after 2 Supreme Court justices while guys like living Alex Berenson remain banned from Twitter. I don't know who that is. Oh, hey, I'm about to screenshot the tweets where you're calling for the ending of 2 Supreme Court justices. I mean, he isn't exactly saying that, but I mean, I think you could make a very clear case for, that he is. I mean, if you see this too, by the way, in his removal, by the way, this guy verified on Twitter. Why? I don't know. He has 1,700 followers. I removed my 2 recent tweets about the U.S. Supreme Court, blah, blah, blah. He's getting brutally ratioed. All right. People saying you should be immediately arrested today. Any copies of these tweets? How are they not against Twitter terms of service? And why did you delete them if they're not? Rebecca Downs writes, you advocated for the removal from this planet of 2 Supreme Court justices, and you're saying it was just an abstract question. Some thought experiment. You knew exactly what you were doing. Yeah. Deleted by, not disappeared. I mean, the entire thread is full of, I mean, that's what he did. Even James Wood in there, ruminating about the removal from the planet of 2 Supreme Court justices is a violent, despicable act and the work of a coward. Somebody who received 0, actual issues with their Twitter account and remains verified. Now, of course, he looks exactly like I would expect, but every single tweet he puts out now is just getting completely crushed. If you look, and all he's doing now, what he's trying to do now, this is very common, is like retweet a bunch of people massively. Here's one 6 hours ago. Massive congrats to Wandsworth Labor for finally getting the Tories out. 1 like, 43 comments. 7 hours ago. Welcome to all my new followers. Afraid it's usually quite boring here. 96 replies, 2 likes. Has the FBI called you yet? Hey, Simon, you're famous now. FBI open up. Warning, account contains attempts at, I'm not going to write, you may be boring, but have fun talking to the FBI. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that the guy's going to get a call from somebody. I mean, I don't know what the dictionary definition of incitement is, but he's certainly at least pondering out loud with 0 disregard, saying hey, it would be kind of sweet. It would be kind of sweet if somebody removed these Supreme Court justices from the planet for doing their job. By the way, in a country in which I don't reside, in a decision that does not affect me in any way, shape, or form. But please like and retweet me. This was one of the most epic backfires I've seen from a woke journalist in a very long time, and I was really happy to be able to report on it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.